threshold of Chicago, Illinois, to a community that was reeling because of one person's actions. Today, we in the United States Attorney's Office continue our journey to seek justice for not only 2, but 4 victims of this horrific crime, which has had enormous consequences and repercussions, not just in the district, but nationwide and worldwide, not only affecting the minimizing victims of past anti-Semitism. Now, a few facts. On May 20 of 2025, Elias Rodriguez traveled from Chicago, Illinois, to Washington, D.C., and brought with him a 9mm semi-automatic weapon. While on the plane, he traveled across multiple state lines and drafted a manifesto called an explication on his iPhone. His explication made clear his purpose in committing these crimes that I'm about to read to you was to demonstrate his hatred for the people of Israel. The next day, on the afternoon of May 21, he purchased a ticket to attend a young diplomat's reception sponsored by the American Jewish Committee at the Capitol Jewish Museum, located just 2 blocks from here on 3rd Street in Northwest D.C. Now, the American Jewish Committee, of course, supports Israel and its right to exist in peace and security. That very same night, he watched as people left the reception. When he saw the 4 victims in this case, all of whom were from the Israeli embassy, he crossed the street, he opened fire, killing first Yaron Lischinsky, then killing Sarah Milgrim, and when firing these fatal shots, he yelled, "Free Palestine." After he killed Yaron and Sarah, he entered the Capitol Jewish Museum, pulled out a red keffiyeh, and yelled, "I did it for Palestine," after which he was arrested. Now, a D.C. grand jury has charged in this indictment 2 hate crimes, alleging that he murdered Yaron Lischinsky and Sarah Milgrim because of his bias against the people of Israel. He demonstrated this hatred through his words, "death to Israel," and his violent actions against Yaron and Sarah and their co-workers from the Israeli embassy. He also posted one of his postings on social media, "Please, please, please, God, please, vaporize every Israeli." And now to the charges. A grand jury in the District of Columbia has indicted Elias Rodriguez in a 9-count indictment with the following crimes. Count 1, murder of a foreign official under 18 U.S.C. 1116 for the murder of 30-year-old Yaron Lischinsky, a foreign official employed by the government of Israel. Counts 2 and 3 are hate crimes resulting in death under 18 U.S.C. 249, where the defendant crossed state lines, willfully caused bodily injury to Yaron Lischinsky and Sarah Milgrim because of actual as well as perceived national origin, which resulted in both of their deaths. Counts 4 and 5, the discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence causing the death of a person through the use of a firearm. The defendant knowingly used, carried, and discharged a firearm during and in relation to a crime of violence, and with malice aforethought, he did unlawfully kill Yaron and Sarah with a firearm. Counts 6 and 7, first-degree murder while armed under the defendant Rodriguez, with deliberate and premeditated malice, killed Yaron and Sarah by shooting each with a firearm, thereby causing injuries from which each died. Counts 8 and 9, assault with intent to kill while armed with a firearm. He assaulted CS and AT, those are initials, with intent to kill a person. Attached to this indictment are further findings of the grand jury. It's designated as a notice of special findings under 18 U.S.C. 3591 and 92. This begins the statutory process and whether to seek the death penalty. This is a weighty decision. It takes time. There will be a rigorous process, after which the capital case section in the Attorney General's office will advise the Attorney General, and the Attorney General herself will make a decision regarding whether or not this office will seek death against Elias Rodriguez. In that regard, I think it's important to identify a specific special finding, and I direct your attention to, I believe it's paragraph 28. Rodriguez committed an offense against Sarah Milgrim in an especially heinous and cruel and depraved manner, in that it involved serious physical abuse to Sarah Milgrim, who was particularly vulnerable due to infirmity. Now, let me close by saying that prior to speaking to you today, I spoke with the parents of Yaron Lischinsky as well as Sarah Milgrim. The parents of Yaron are in Israel. Sarah's parents are in the United States. These are people who are broken because of one man's actions. These are people who should have been in-laws, but because of one man's action, they will never be able to celebrate a marriage that was intended or the grandchildren that would have resulted. The families want to thank the prosecutors in my office. They want to thank the FBI, the MPD, and all of the people in the Attorney General's office who have worked on this case, and they wanted me to send that message. And now I want to make something perfectly clear. Violence against anyone in this district will not be tolerated, especially violence which has hate at its core and is the genesis of violence. The president put me here to do a job, to clean up the district, to make sure that crime doesn't overshadow this phenomenal city, our nation's capital. And I have throughout my career fought anti-Semitism for 32 years as a prosecutor and a judge. I do so. I fight hate crimes with a vengeance. So don't even think about targeting people in this district because of who they are or because of where they're from. I promise you, justice will be swift and it will be certain. And I will work furiously and diligently with my phenomenal staff to make sure that we prosecute every one of these cases. This is the nation's capital. This is where we celebrate unity. Hate has no place, but justice will rule. And now I want to call upon Harmeet Dillon to my right. She is the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights. You may know her, and I want to thank her and her division for helping us on this. Harmeet?
Thank you, Judge Jeanine, for your remarks and for your diligent work of your office on this matter. It is my weighty responsibility under federal law to certify any hate crime charges at the federal level in the United States, and we did that in this case with alacrity. The Civil Rights Division remains unwavering in the same commitment that you just heard from Judge Jeanine. Namely, there will be a zero-tolerance policy in this district and in these United States for any hate-motivated violence, including in this case on the basis of actual and or perceived national origin. The community in question has been reeling from a stream of violence that has been occurring in these United States for almost 2 years now. To those who seek to inflict further pain and suffering on Israeli communities, we will use every legal tool at our disposal to hold them accountable for these actions and deter future actions. The Civil Rights Division is committed to ensuring that every community in these United States is safe from violence, intimidation, and discrimination, as in this case. No one in America should fear for their life because of their faith, religion, ethnicity, or national origin. This indictment reflects our ongoing commitment to hold these criminals accountable, and we will continue to relentlessly pursue justice for Yaron and Sarah, their families, and their communities. I hope this beginning of this process brings some comfort to the many people in this community who have approached the Department of Justice and expressed their deep concern for their safety. I think no one can claim that this is not a serious problem here in our district right now, and it is embarrassing as an American to see that. Next, I'm going to introduce FBI District of Columbia Field Office Criminal Division Special Agent in Charge, Reed Davis.
Thank you, Judge Pirro. Thank you, AG Dillon. Good morning. My name is Reed Davis. I'm the Special Agent in Charge for the Washington Field Office Criminal Division. Today's announcement is a major step forward in our partners in the FBI's efforts to seek justice for the victims and the families of the horrific act at the Capitol Jewish Museum on May 21st. Since that tragic night, our FBI and DOJ victim specialists have forged relationships with the surviving victims and the families of the young couple who were ruthlessly murdered. They have maintained close contact and kept them apprised of significant investigative milestones in the case, and these victim specialists will remain in contact with the families until justice is served. FBI investigation to date indicates that the subject acted alone with the intent to commit a violent act in the District of Columbia. Based on his writings and communications, we believe he was a lone wolf actor, motivated by anti-Zionist and pro-Palestine ideology, with the goal of conducting a mass shooting to call attention to his political agenda. We wouldn't be at this stage without the significant support of our partners on the Washington Field Office Joint Terrorism Task Force, including the Metropolitan Police Department, the Diplomatic Security Service, the U.S. Capitol Police, and many others who have left no stone unturned in this investigation. The FBI field offices across the country also provided vital support, especially our Chicago field office, which conducted numerous interviews. In addition, we are extremely grateful to the members of the D.C. community who shared video footage of the subject's movements. We continue to seek information from the public relevant to this case and others as we see the spread of ideology-motivated violence and mass casualty events across the nation. Taking violent action in support of one's political or personal beliefs is abhorrent, it's unacceptable, and the FBI will rigorously investigate and aggressively pursue those who choose to do so. Our work is not done. This indictment is the next step towards justice, and we'll continue to support the prosecution of the subject through our investigation. And now more than ever, we need the public to be vigilant and report to law enforcement any concerns they may have of an individual who may be considering violent actions. Thank you, and now I'd like to turn it over to MPD Assistant Chief Rami Kyle.
Good morning. I'm Assistant Chief Rami Kyle of the Investigative Services Bureau.